welcome back, everybody, to another East County Voices. We're your hosts. Hold on. We got another person trying to get on, but it's not connected yet. I'll wait till they're connected. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. We got Nicole, Miss Patty, we got Gavin, and someone else trying to get in right now. Take it away, y'all.
Is it Nicole? We're gonna show your video. Well, I just posted it.
Yes. Who wants to do the intros?
The intros. Hi. She's watching. Okay. She's so cute. You don't have to turn your camera on, girl.
I don't? Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's so sorry, it's so much going on. It's kind of crazy right now. It's been a lot happening. Lots of things happening. Rest in peace to the baby that was just murdered on a Sunday out here on Gladstone and East Leland. I think it was a hit and run. I'm not really sure. I didn't get all the details of it, but yeah, it's been a lot going on in all the neighborhoods. But welcome, Miss Patty, Gavin, aka Malcolm X, and our Carlos Tacos. We're just missing our tacos tonight, but you know,
yeah,
hey, maybe tomorrow. I'm Nicole. Who cares?
Tell Miss Kimberly that was for the other Nicole. For the other Nicole.
Yeah,
not for Dr. Kimberly. Dr. Kimberly, come back, please. Come back.
Yes, Nicole, you can go off camera if you like.
Come back.
Gavin, tell your mama to get back on.
Yeah.
Aw. Happy Wednesday.
Okay, Nicole.
Nicole, our other community advocate, Nicole, put together a dope ass video compilation of different nights, different evenings, different actions, and of everything that we've done collectively. I would say it's like maybe 1/100th, maybe 1,000th of all of the public comments, all of our actions, all of our collective effort to have an impact on systemic historical change, because we chose to speak up and use our voices despite bullies and haters and whatever. Love conquers, truth conquers, and I rebuke all of the evils in the name of Jesus. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
In the mighty name of Yeshua, we rebuke it.
We may not be in the history books, but what we can do is actually use this one. Since now they're taking down the education system, we're going to be using this to teach our children and our grandchildren and our children's children about the work that we did, so we can educate the people that need to know about these things. Educate the people that want to care.
Oh yeah. We know we're history. We're part of current history. We've been making history, and still recorded, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. We know.
Yeah. And then tonight we have a special guest, Miss Dr. Kimberly Payton, who is a wealth of knowledge and experience, and a fighter and an advocate and a mother, a sister, a cut, like you name it. So we look forward to, drop some knowledge on us. And Gavin, Nicole, y'all can lead this interview. But I'm excited to learn. You've been on our show before and you've told us a little bit. It's been a while, but reinform us. What's going on? Where are we? What do we need to do? What are we doing? Go ahead, Gavin. Miss Nicole.
Okay. Miss Kim.
Hi. Good
Hello.
evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How is everybody?
Doing well.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Thankful.
Thank you.
So, for everyone that don't know, that this is my mom.
Really? I
Um,
know you. I don't even know you.
Right? I've never seen that baby before.
yeah, she's my mom, and for those that don't know, um, people say I get my brains from her, and my looks and my charm.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I can have to. Yeah, you're her twin, that's for sure.
And my mom is a doctor, and that's Dr. Peyton. For those that don't want to acknowledge that she's a doctor, she's an actual doctor. Um, she's been working my whole life to get that, and she finally did it. She's Zeta Phi Beta strong. Fun fact: her dad is a Kappa Alpha Psi. Um, and we've grown up with community activists, and growing up in the church. And she's one of the amazing fighters for youth rights, education, and she's a really strong advocate for children that have medical needs. So,
Mhm.
would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more, or did I cover it?
Well, you covered just about all of it, except I also advocate for senior needs, um, especially those that are being taken advantage of in the medical field. Um, some of our seniors that don't necessarily have family to advocate for them, sometimes they get pushed over, um, or they're not taken care of properly. So sometimes I advocate for them too.
And that's really good to know because I didn't know that one thing about you. Because Hippocratic Note, shout out to Mike Lopez, shout out to Tiffany. We're gonna do a documentary, Carlos. So we definitely want to have you on that part of that because that will be amazing because we're going to do a whole thing on this healthcare system and the trash treatment that we all receive.
Yeah. And part of, I broke away from early childhood, or actually K to 12 education for my doctorate. That was my study I kind of did on like nursing and soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just a little bit on that. Your first interaction when you go to the doctors with the nurse, right? Whether it's an
Right.
LV, medical assistant, still a nurse. And if that interaction is not happen right, the rest of the visit goes downhill, right? Because they may not communicate your needs to the doctor. They may not take all your information down. On your exit, they may follow that up with not giving you all the information you need.
Mm.
You know how some visits you go to the doctor, they say, okay, the nurse will give you your prescription or wherever you need on the way out. Sometimes they don't, and you'd be surprised how that also translates over into medical billing as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes soft skills of medical professionals mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, minorities are just targeted, especially. I only have one experience with the one person that we live in our house, but especially if you have mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
um, or they know that you may be borderline, like homeless in and out of homeless. I don't have a lot of work with homeless, but Gavin and I have by default interacted and supported people that were on that cusp. So I can just tell you that their medical situation, they were getting kind of messed over. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to try to help them navigate so they get services and resources.
Yeah, and that's very good. And I can definitely attest to that as someone who worked in the medical field till the day I was hospitalized with cancer. I can definitely tell you, especially if people are Spanish speaking, they get treated differently. Black people definitely get treated like trash, and it's been that way forever. I can tell you stories all the way back from my mom and my dad, stuff about me, stuff about my daughter. Like I can definitely attest to treatment being not okay. Literally, just even if you go to pain management, for instance, right? Well, if you're white and you need pain management and or you need, medications for pain, oh, they're seeking, medication for pain. But if you're black, they're looking at you like, oh, they're drug addicts. They're just looking to get high. There's always this, yeah. So it could be very bad when it's bad. You heard about the lady breaking the baby's bones, the NICU babies at that, just because they were black. Like, how hateful do you have to be to harm babies that are already dang near clinging to life?
I don't know. That's a sensitive subject for me. Y'all already know. Like
Exactly.
I lived with Gavin in the NICU the first 3.5 months of his life. So
Right.
that's already a sensitive subject for me. But I did see and remember even the few children that came in that were abused. And the one that came in unidentifiable, I remember some of the moms that were there, we all advocated to kind of make sure that nurses were kind of following up and interacting with her until until somebody, and it sounds bad, but I'll say claim her. Like if you haven't been through the experience in Children's Hospital NICU, they name everybody baby boy or baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
And from the moment, from me coming out of a traumatized delivery, emergency cesarean, a helicopter ride that I wasn't even on because I was out cold, stepping into the NICU and seeing Gavin, for instance, named baby boy Peyton, I lost it. Like I flipped out. I was like, my kid has a name. What the hell? Why is he baby boy? Like, I get it, but I don't get it. I need him to have a name. For me, it was traumatic. And so to see that around the NICU, it was something because I remember there was a girl that came in, and I guess she had been in the foster care system, but some kind of way she came to the hospital by herself, and she was in the last stage of life. She was gonna pass, and they put her. There was an isolation in the NICU. Everybody can see everybody. There's like nothing. There's like a curtain that separates you, but they do it so that they can do emergency surgery right then and there. And if you're a parent in there, you're locked in. And so there's an isolation type room, and this girl was in there. And I remember we formed a prayer circle and prayed for her, and prayed that somebody would claim her. And in the end, one of her aunts came to claim her, and she died a few days later. But the nurses weren't paying her attention before. And I remember pulling the social worker aside, and I was like, that's not right. I need you guys to like say something to somebody, but she needs nursing care too. That's just not right that nobody's going in and out of that room. And it just didn't sit right with me. But me and a few other moms just stayed on it. We were like, that's somebody's child. Somebody gave birth to that girl.
Right.
So, you'd be surprised how you get treated when you're African American and there's nobody to speak up for you, whether you're a baby, a kid, or an adult, especially a senior.
Right.
And don't be a senior and they'll say, oh, they're just old, they don't know.
Right.
That's a mess.
They throw people away. They throw people away. I mean, they did it to Gaddy. They literally like, oh, you're going to die, and just left him to die. Like, oh, well, I'm not going to put you on hospice or do anything for you. I'm just going to, because you don't want to take this experimental drug that's not going to help you. So, oh, well. Yeah, Dr. Ball at Kaiser. I will forever have a problem with that man. And he shouldn't be anyone's oncologist or practicing anyone's medicine, because who says to a person over the phone that they're going to die because they don't want to take an experimental drug that you want them to take that's not going to help them?
Yeah, Kaiser's rough. I came out of there. I promised when I was a young person in my early 20s that I was never going back. I remember I had tonsillitis and they dropped the scissors in my throat. And and I shot up out the chair and I ran to the lobby. I was like, ah. When I had a bad tonsil infection that went on for like 3 months, it was wild. It was so crazy. And so
Worse
like,
than I
"Oh,"
thought.
and I was like, no, why did he do that to me? And he was insisting upon seeing me alone, even though my mom was out there. I was like, why can't she be in here? And he was
So
like,
he could do what he did, messed up stuff.
man, dropped scissors in my throat.
Witness.
So I flipped out. And
He
then
could have killed you.
another time I went for a scan. When I got shot, I came back. I went for a scan, and dude was like filling up my arm. He was like, so blah blah blah. I was like, ah. I was like screaming, get away from me. I had to start like really screaming to get somebody to come in the room. I was like, I'm good. And I was just like, I was good with Kaiser. And then the third strike was I had a procedure. I had to have a medical procedure, and I had it. And the doctor stitched inside of my body, he stitched a sponge. They didn't get all of the gauze out. Caused me to get a big infection. And yep, I wound up staying in I got sepsis and everything.
I was gonna say you're gonna get septic and you could have died.
Right. And I was only like 22, 23. I was like, yeah, I'm never going back to Kaiser. That was
I hate Kaiser with a passion. I hate it. Sorry, I will never. Yeah. No. No. I only trust John Muir. Sorry.
I'm gonna be on the bright side. I'm gonna be on the optimism side that they are not for profit, if I'm not mistaken. So they're a non-profit medical organization. So they need to do. They what?
They're an HMO, a health maintenance organization.
Okay. And I hope that they have helped a lot of people and healed, but there are these instances where the quality of care.
Yeah, I just had a bad experience, but that doesn't mean everybody else does.
But almost every single person in the world that I've spoken to had a bad experience.
Well, my brother had to go to Mexico because they wouldn't check his esophagus again. They just kept giving him medication that was damaging his body. And ultimately he went to Mexico, had another opinion, and they're like, oh, well, your acid reflux is because you don't have a valve from what all the stress, and it dissolved what he was supposed to have there. So he didn't sleep for years. He would sleep sitting up. He would never lay down. He wouldn't eat after a certain time. My brother wasn't living his life, but thank God he went to Juarez, Mexico, and got the surgery he needed. So yeah, there's those experiences. But still, shout out to the good nurses and doctors out there and that are doing what they need to do for people's health. But John Muir, I have a homegirl that works there too, and she's a beast. She's an Air Force veteran, and she talks about like what she does, like, and I'm like, girl, I could not be in the medical field. So shout out to anyone in the medical field, healing and helping people, because it's not for the weak.
No, it's not. My beautiful Tiara Dazan is a kick-ass RN. She's been an RN since she was 23 years old. She works at the NICU at John Muir on a creek. So yeah, she's amazing. Again, John Muir. I worked there. I was a patient there. I had my kids there. Like, hey,
Miss Catherine Wade's one of her daughters, she's going through, I believe it's an RN training or something in the nursing field through Opportunity Junction. That's right there. If anybody out there, if you've never heard of Opportunity Junction, it's a nonprofit. They provide resources for further education, certifications, resume building, job allocation. Like, they are there. So Opportunity Junction. But I know Miss Catherine Wade's daughter, she's on her way to be in the medical field. So God bless her too.
Yes. And you got Dozier Libby, just a medical high school in Antioch.
Yes, it's a high school, right? Or it's like
Yeah. The high school.
okay. So Antioch Parents, there's a I didn't know about this until I don't know, maybe at least 10 years ago, but it's been around for a while.
Mhm.
And so Dozier Libby is it's an institution, educational it's a medical high school. So you got nieces, nephews that want to be in that field and they're in high school, get them to apply to go to that school.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
So about
So-
education.
Okay. So uh, I am coming on today to just talk to you guys that with the education department closing.
Mm.
I just want to let parents know that even though, you know, our school systems here in Contra Costa are failing, like Pittsburgh and Antioch can be doing a whole lot better. And overall, if anybody's ever went on the California Department of Education site, CDE, and just checked out or just searched up where our districts rank, it is not the best. In fact, there's some districts where our kids are actually in the negative, if that's possible, like they're ranking in the negative. And so part of it is that, you know, some teachers aren't motivated. You have a lot that are, but some just, I don't know if it's the stress of the profession or I don't know, loaded class sizes. But we just as parents want to remember that our kids are scholars and that we want to make sure everybody interacting with our kids are treating them like scholars. And that, you know, if you're worried about how your child is doing and you don't really feel comfortable with the way things are going at school, there's some things you can do to make sure that your kids stay on target and up to par. One of those things is every time you meet with your school's teacher, your child's teacher, you should take a notebook. I'm just going to give you a few quick tips. You should take a notebook. You should take notes on where the teacher says they are, and then you should take it upon yourself to go look it up on the CDE website to see where they should be and what they should be doing. And then there are resources also. And maybe next time I could come on, I could just share resources. But there are resources that parents can get for free to help their child do better in school.
Good.
Thing from wordsmithing, just a lot of different things that students need. And also, you should check out what the next grade is. So if your child's in second grade, you should go online and see what the reading list is for third grade or what the recommended list is. You should see what where they should be in math, what's expected of them. And then that way you can help prepare them. You'll know if they're not getting enough. You'll know if your child's weak in certain areas and stronger in other areas. So you'll know how to prepare them and you won't be so dependent upon their report card when it comes. And the other mistake, I know like parents are busy, but one thing that busy parents sometimes don't do is when summer comes or when breaks come, they give their kids a break. Not a good thing. So when you have break, you should already have like, if you saw the next year's reading list, even if they listen to it, even if you don't have time to buy a book, take them to the library, maybe they can watch the movie of it. But as long as you have a discussion, if you start like getting them engaged, talking about that next book, that next subject in their class, and then dialoguing with them back and forth, that's helping them. It doesn't sound like it, but it's helping. It's encouraging conversation. It's building vocabulary.
Critical thinking.
You can subscribe to vocabulary sites. They'll send you a word a day, right? And one of the things that our Black and Brown students don't do well on is vocabulary. So when they take standardized tests, it's always lower. So if you just start that dialogue and conversation, you introduce vocabulary, you introduce comprehension skills, and you help them build more skills to help them be successful. And those little things will help along the way. And there's another thing, like, I don't want to seem like I'm the mean parent, but Gavin will tell you. So in my house, my kids couldn't use the word bored. There's no way Gavin and Gianna could walk up to me and say, Mom, I'm bored. That never happened. It didn't happen because if they used the word bored, that meant that they wanted to do some form of schoolwork. So it never happened. And then eventually, from them, us having dialogue and me saying, okay, next year you're going to be doing this, they got interested, and then they developed their own drive. And then from when they were early in elementary, I would say mid-elementary through junior high, I never had to ask them to do their homework again because they were kind of interested. They wanted to do what it took to be successful the next year, because that one time, let's just say Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was what they were going to be reading in 4th grade. So that one experience they had when we did a book before the class and they went to class and knew all the answers, that like had them pumped. They were like, oh, I could do this. I'm smarter. I could answer the questions. Those little things help boost self-esteem, and that boosts grades. I think Nicole asked me a question. She says, what do you recommend when teachers giving out good grades, sometimes just to get the statistics that look good? Well, I'm that parent that confronted teachers about that. So I don't know that I can give a good answer on what to do. Gavin's shaking his head, but I'm the one that said.
It's happened across the board.
Yes. And what I recommend is you focusing on, if you know, like I said, by going on and looking and seeing what's expected, if you know that your child really isn't there and you suspect the teacher is, boosting it up just to make it, like I always told the teachers and mine, they're not here for me to raise a cool fool. While I did eventually yank mine out in homeschool for other reasons, what I recommend to parents that I support now, I tell them, you find out what's required for yourself. And then once you find out, you stay on that path and don't shake it. You let whatever the teacher's going to do in their classroom be done. But as long as you know what's required, then you know what you need to help your kid with, because that's important. And then if you have to ask for support, then you know where to ask for it, because you know where your scholar's weak.
I got the pajamas on and everything.
It's all right.
I was like, ooh, let me jump in right there.
If you don't know where your scholar's weak at, then you can't ask questions. And that's why the importance of the parent keeping their own notebook, right? Because if you know that if your child can't do what the teacher said they can do, that's a problem, because when they get to the next grade, the problem's going to be worse. And for students that we've been helping now, especially our young Black males, they're quick to say, okay, well, they're cutting up, they're acting out in class. But it doesn't have to be that they're doing that. It's because they don't know how to move forward, because they were skipped through. And then now all of a sudden it's like, no, you didn't know he couldn't do that. And so I don't know if it's a test to see if our Black and brown parents are paying attention, or if it's the deliberate way to segue them into the suspension, expulsion, and all that crap.
The deliberate prison to pipeline way.
Yes. So I recommend that parents, when you go to that first meeting in the beginning of the year, that's your key to pay attention. Not to when the fundraiser is and when all that stuff is, but to know what they're going to be doing in that class for the year. And if you can, leave your child's class and go to the next grade's class, so you can see what they're doing. And then you'll know if your child is being prepared properly to leave the grade they're starting into the next grade as the years progress. Because once this time of year hits, I won't say it's too late, but look at the mad dash, the pressure, and the stress you're going to put yourself and your kid in, trying to know that they're going to make the next grade. So if you start knowing what the next grade is when the school year starts, that's how you get prepared to make sure everything's happening during the school year.
Right. I think I really want to ask the question because my boys, they've always, I have a 12, or he's 13 now, and a 21-year-old. But even when my oldest was in school, you know, it seemed like the teachers, like, we did projects at home. You know, there was homework, like he was forever doing homework and just stressing about it. And, you know, and because he really cared about his grades. And that's one thing about my kids that I can appreciate. They really do care about their grades. And I spoke about that because my son, the 13-year-old, just got his report card today in the mail. And so it was A's, B's, of course, I'm proud. But it just seemed like that we're not there where he's at right now. Like, you went to the same school your brother did in middle school. I don't see you really doing much homework, you know, and I don't see any projects coming home. Like, and they say, Mom, well, the only reason why you're worried about it is because you take over the projects. And then, you know, I just love it. I love it. I was helping him with a history, something he had to do for history the other day. And I was like, okay, let me read up on it. Okay, what you gonna do? What you gonna say? Like, you know, I'm just totally into all that stuff. Like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? So, but the thing is, like, I'm just really into that. So my thing is, he is a good student. He comes home, you know, reads, oh, Mom, you know, we go over his, when he does have homework and stuff like that together. But one of my fears is that the teachers, like, you're not even giving them projects to do at home. You guys aren't really giving them as much homework as you were giving them when my oldest was in school. Like, I just don't want to have him be not prepared when he goes into high school. He's in 8th grade now. But not be prepared because the teachers, like you said, Dr. Kim, have, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's just a lack of, you know, maybe enthusiasm. Maybe they're not just, you know, we've seen our teachers kind of decrease because of they're not getting paid right. You know, that could be a factor too. I mean, I feel a certain type of way if I have to buy the students supplies that they need and things like that. You know, I feel probably be stressed the hell out too. So there's something going on there, but there is a disconnect from when my oldest went to middle school to where my youngest is now. And I see that. And I'm like, y'all better not just be letting him pass, because when he gets to high school, it's going to be really, really hard. And I know the classes are full. The teachers are overwhelmed. The students are off the chain. A lot of the students is off the chain. I mean, there's no respect, nothing. We used to go to school. You can't curse around adults. You can't do nothing. You go to the campus. These kids don't care. Okay. They like, we cussing. I'm at basketball games. I'm looking like, what did you just say? You know, I'm gonna say something. But yeah, so and I am one, just like you said, like when I feel as though, like, are you doing this or giving him just a grade just to have him pass? Like, I'll say something. And I do believe that parents need to have more just communication all throughout the year. Even if you're busy, just go through I think we have, what is it out here? What is it? Aries or whatever they use out here with like a parent teacher portal, you know, be involved with that and just check in time to time, you know, just to make sure that your kid is on track. And I think that that's important too for parents to do. But yeah, that was a little rant for me, but
It is okay. We're here for it.
Sure.
Well, so I just put a link in the chat. I'm gonna give you an example. The link in the chat is for the 12 recommendations for middle school grade success. That's through CDE. And I know you guys that like CDE may be boring, but those things that are in there, those are like real strategies to help your students succeed. So it starts off by talking about like creating safe environments, blah, 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 building professional learning environments, you know, organizing school. But the more you wormhole into it, you'll find their reading list. You'll find requirements that they need for math. You'll find ways to support your learner. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because students really need to feel, especially our Black and Brown, they need to feel like they can do it. They need to feel empowered and like they're a scholar. You know, like if I told you every day, you know, or talked down to you, or not necessarily down, but didn't present you as a scholar or address you as a scholar, eventually you'd not feel like a scholar, right?
Mhm.
But by lifting them up, that little thing, especially with young people,
Yep.
it boosts their self-esteem, right?
Mhm.
It makes them motivated. It makes them want to do it. And so, and students know when their teacher is just passing them or just not ignoring them. I can't tell you how many young African American students I've talked to in elementary and junior high that know their teacher's ignoring them, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not help them succeed in school. And so it frustrates parents, especially, I mean, Nicole, you're closer to where your students live, you're more involved, but imagine those parents stuck on Highway 4. By the time they get to their kid, they're in the after school program, and who are they going to talk to about whatever problem then, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So it just seems like if we could start to preempt where our students are going, we would know how to get them there better. Like you were mentioning that you know you worried about them being able to what they're going to do in high school and how you're going to go further. So as soon as you recognize your student is going to be going to high school or he wants to study certain things, then start those avenues early. Start those avenues and those dialogues early. Like
Mhm.
if to go into a state school, you need to meet A to G requirements. Make sure your students prepared because the school doesn't do that. They don't prepare you
Yep.
to take those classes to get you to A to G requirements.
Right.
Dr. Kimberly, I don't mean to cut you off. Gavin, I saw you had your hand raised. Before you forget
Yeah.
your thought.
So when I want to suggest two things. Well, a couple of things. One, this is mainly talking to the students, and I hope students are listening and hearing me when I say this. Um, there's tools to help you, and one of those tools is like I'm gonna give an example, Brain Pop. You can be in high school, you can still be in college and still use Brain Pop because Brain Pop it helps you set the tone for those little things that they teach you early on in the K to 12, especially in kindergarten preschool. Those still tools they apply it to your everyday life when you get older, and it helps you pass through school. When I was using Brain Pop, I could easily fast through my English and history lessons. It's just like that because it reverts back to me and it helps me understand.
Is Brain Pop, is that a like a platform, a website, a method?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is it an app?
No, it's a website. Where
Is it
students-
free?
I think so, unless they change it now. It was free when I was in middle school.
I think most of it's free, some of it's not. I also just put like if you have students writing essays, I just put in like Word Hippo. Those are good. The sites, even through my doctoral program, a lot of us used it to help you with the thesaurus. It also gives a definition. It's not Webster's, but it's close enough if your student's struggling. If your teacher's telling them they need to build their vocabulary or work on, using different words. So that works for that. Brain Pop is really good. Thanks, Gavin, for putting that in there. There's also some other sites that when your student gets to into junior high, high school, when they have to write papers and do citations, there's sites you can go that will hold on to their citations and automatically put them in alphabetical order to help them understand how citations for like MLA or APA should be done.
EasyBib.com. I remember I used that a lot. EasyBib.com. MLA, APA. Yeah, I use that a lot during my studies. So
and Photomath.
Yeah,
Okay.
photo
I'm gonna
math.
be honest. If a teacher tells you, I'm not a teacher, but if a teacher tells you that when you use photomath, it's wrong, do not listen to them because it actually helps. Because photomath, you take a picture of the problem when you don't understand it, you take a picture of it and it scans it and it breaks it down to you how to actually solve the problem.
Mm.
So it's helping you learn. Yes, it's like a sheet, but it actually helps you how
With your
where you
comprehension, with your comprehension. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And it's better
And the
than a
la-
calculator.
right, because it will show you all the steps to it, and there's actually teachers that work on as part of that site. I think the
Send me
last
that link, Gavin. We'll
Yeah,
share all the
that
links
sounds
that we
good.
talked about it. We'll share it on the East County Voices Facebook page.
Mhm.
All the links that we're sharing, so we could have it in one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
thank you, because that sounds like a good one. And I don't think and I've thought about this a lot where it's like cheating, but we're in a era of like just technology. It's available. It's not
AI.
going away. Exactly. I mean, it's not going away. So why not use it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean, a lot of our students don't even know how to write in cursive right now. Everything is like typed out online, you know, Word or whatever. So I just think we have to go with the flow of technology. And I think that's a great, thank you, Gavin, for that information. I definitely will tell my son about that.
Yeah. And it depends on the teachers too. Shout out to the teachers that are going above and beyond. I wrote one of my research papers was on the what teachers get paid, that they are underpaid. And it's not because they're doing it for the money, it's because they want to be there. Some may do it out of security because of like the unions and they're not passionate for the kids, but the kids know that. And like I had a 5th grade teacher that was assigning us, he would call them compositions. We would read books. We would write 10 to 15 page compositions with paragraphs and in 5th grade in elementary school. And I just look back at my girlfriends that we were in that class together. That helped us so much. And those teachers that go above and beyond for the kids like that to just push them. Shout out to you all. Shout out to all those teachers.
And if I can just say really quickly, I got to give a shout out to my girl, Mariah. I'm pretty sure many of y'all know her.
Yeah.
Is a teacher here in the school district. And it just is crazy that, just having conversations with her, she's because I'm like, damn, I wish my kids, because she's like more with the elementary, kind of school kids or whatever. But I'm like, dang, I wish my kids had you as a teacher, and she does art and she goes out and they go on the playground and pick leaves and all these different things and just explore nature. And a lot of the older seasoned teachers had a problem with her doing that. They were just like, you can't have the students out here doing, they just gave her such a hard time. And she's so humble and kind and so nice. And she's like, okay. But I'm like, girl, you should have told them. You should have told them this how I teach, okay?
It used to be normal. It used to be normal.
Exactly, right? But they really had made it really hard for her to go outside of the box of staying in the classroom.
That's not cool.
And give the teacher, give the students some air and be in nature and build, get messy and, just be kids. And so some of our teachers are even having a problem with that type of thing. So I don't know. I'm to a point where I really feel for our teachers. And that's not going to do anything but affect our youth coming up in the next generation of leaders that we have in the city and all over the place. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but we have a lot of that. And that's just, I feel for our teachers. I really do.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Hi, Frank.
Welcome, Frank.
The last thing I want to give is, when your kids get to high school, one of the things you might want to know that your counselor is not going to tell you guys is that if your student takes a class at LMC, DVC, like their English class, their foreign language, one semester counts for a whole year of high school.
Yep.
It also meets the California A to G requirements to get them into Cal State schools. So
I
for
wish I
instance,
would have known
I
that.
did not know that.
for instance, Gavin and Gianna both took their foreign language. They took sign language at LMC. It met the requirement. After 2 semesters, they were done with foreign language.
Mhm.
So you might want to think about that, especially if you have a student that's struggling in math or something like that, where they feel like, Mom, I want to take it by myself or I couldn't pass it. You might want to see if they can take it over the summer at LMC because they have a math lab,
Yeah.
they have tutors, won't have to pay for
Right.
those.
Okay.
And high school students go to junior college for free.
Yep.
So what better resource to
Credit.
help you
Right.
when you can get tutoring, math support, and everything?
Okay. Thank you.
Virginia.
Thank you for that. Gavin, I saw you had your hand raised, and then we'll take it over to Frank. I know Frank's got some updates for us, community updates, and then we want to share an amazing video compilation of work that it's a tiny piece of the work that we've been doing. Shout out to Nicole for putting that together. So we'll put that after the hour is over. But thank you, Miss Dr. Kimberly Payton, for just dropping so much knowledge on us. And we'll be sharing the links and whatnot. Feel free to text them or send them to Gavin or text them to us. We'll figure it out.
Well,
We'll
it
put
looks
them
like
online.
Patty, it looks like a lot of the links are going into our private chat and they need to be
Oh, I
going
see them.
into
Let me
the-
They're
copy
both.
paste.
They're
I'm
both.
gonna copy.
Oh,
copy
it is
link,
both.
They're
I'm
in
just not looking
they're
at
in
it.
they're
Okay.
in public too. Mhm.
copy link,
Perfect.
copy link.
Yeah, they're there.
I
But
see it.
we'll put them separately on a post, so they're all in one. Copy
Yes.
link.
Yes.
Copy.
Post on Facebook. Yeah.
Great info.
I just wanted to share. Um, so for one, students, please tell your parents about what's going on. And it's never a bad thing to tell them how you're feeling about school. Never, nothing wrong. Especially your teachers and stuff like that, because not every teacher is out to get you.
Mhm.
The other thing is also, instead, if you're like me and you cannot stand math for the sight of you can't stomach it. There's an alternative. You can take a finance class out of your math class and learn about your finances and how you can budget and save. I would do that, and it counts for your math.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted also. Did you want me to share the video, or you want to?
No, we'll do the video after the 9 hour because we're already getting close to 9 o'clock, so we'll go after 9 to share the video. Frank, thank you for dropping in and blessing us too with your presence. What's going on? What do we got?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm so late. I just wanted to let the folks know about the action that's happening Friday, and that's with our local folks here in Antioch, the Quinto family, as well as the family of Miles Hall, the family of Vladimir Arboleda, and the family of I'm blanking on his name right now, but I'm going to look and get it.
And this will be in Martinez, is that correct? The Martinez Sheriff's
Yes.
Sheriff's Office? Okay.
Yes, and the other gentleman was Tyrell Wilson. So Vladimir Arboleda and Tyrell Wilson were both killed by Officer Andrew Hall. And Andrew Hall was supposed to do 85% of his jail time due to weapons enhancements because he killed these folks with a gun. He was a Contra Costa County sheriff. Both of these people were suffering a mental health crisis. And he's getting out of jail only serving less than half of his time. And so the family of Vladimir Arboleda, the family of Miles Hall, who wasn't killed by Andrew Hall, the family of, I'm blanking on the man's name again, Tyrell Wilson, excuse me. They are calling this protest at the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office, which is 1980 Mirror Road in Martinez. Excuse me, I have allergies today. I don't know if y'all get allergies, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
mine are on me today. But 1980 Mirror Road in Martinez. It says, join us at the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office to protest Andrew Hall's release and call for an independent coroner, which means the Quinto family is going to be there launching, or not launching, but reiterating the fact that we need to separate the sheriff from the coroner.
Yeah.
So again, that's going to be at the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Department, 1 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
And we'll share it on the East County Voices website, but it's also on the Angelo Quinto Foundation, the Miles Hall Foundation website, and other local pages like that. So I just think it's important for you all to get out there if you can. And I could read some of the quotes here. That Andrew Hall was sentenced to 3 years conviction and an additional 3 years for causing great bodily injury. The judge dismissed a second enhancement that would have added more time because Officer Hall was already convicted of a violent felony. Judge said he will have to serve 85% of his sentence. But charges against Hall in the 2018 shooting announced in 2021, about a month after Andrew Hall shot Tyrell Wilson, an unhoused black man who was allegedly throwing rocks from the freeway. Many of you might remember this. Anyways, it's kind of long. I don't want to read it all. I was kind of trying to get the basics, but he was supposed to serve 6 years. He's getting out with less than 2 years after killing 2 people. So they're asking for folks to show up Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah, this Friday, the 28th at 1 p.m. at 1980 Mirror Road in Martinez. This is the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office, and it's sponsored by
Road.
Yeah, Mirror Road.
Mm-hmm.
This is sponsored by NAMI Contra Costa and the Angelo Quinto Foundation. And it's just something that we've been following. I know I've been following it since it happened. And if you remember, Ton Hall recently came to Antioch. She gave away a bunch of bikes to kids. Miles Hall, if you all haven't followed the Miles Hall Foundation on Facebook or Instagram, I just urge you all to go there. Also follow the Angelo Quinto Foundation on Facebook or Instagram, where you can get up to date on the action. And also on Thursday, if you listen to KPFA Hard Knock Radio, myself, and that's tomorrow, myself, the Quinto family, and either Gigi or one of the other affected families will be on tomorrow to talk about this in more depth with a lot of people that are closer to the case than me. But I can tell you that this has been a long fought battle for the community in Danville, where the Contra Costa County Sheriff is the police there. And you all could Google Andrew Hall and Vladimir Arboleda. You all can Google Andrew Hall and Tyrell Wilson. And of course, just a trigger warning, because this officer basically kills 2 men on camera. And he finally had to do his time, but they're letting him out early. And we know Contra Costa County Sheriff Livingston has been not only helping with the Trump immigration stuff in the first Trump administration. I'm sure he'll be back coming up soon. But he also quoted in a letter to Andrew Hall that he has his back.
Wow.
So they want to bring him back. They want to have him. I don't know if he should not ever be an officer again, but I don't know if they're going to let him be or not. We'll see. So if you can, you're all invited out Friday, 1 p.m. at the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office on Mirror Road.
And there's plenty of parking. I've been to a few actions, like one, maybe 2 actions there, and parking's free. It's a big parking lot. It's for the public. Show up.
Yeah,
Okay.
he shouldn't be getting out, but we know
And
how
it-
that goes.
And again, we'll share the links on the East County Voices website.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, Frank. Yeah. We organize, we advocate, we use our voice, we show up because that's what we can do. We want change. What do? Stand silent? Like
Nope.
nothing happened? No. There's families that are traumatized and there's justice that's not being served.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, we
Thank
have
you.
5 minutes, so it'd be a good time to show Nicole's video too.
Yes, you want to tell us a bit about
Segue
this
into the
video?
video. Yeah.
You want to tell us about it, Nicole? What inspired you to put this together?
Well, we had a Reimagine Antioch meeting. I think it was last week, Frank, wasn't it? It was like last week. And there were a couple of new members who had joined Reimagine Antioch who are wanting to work. And and they were just like, I'm just what's the mission? And and I was trying to explain that Reimagine Antioch is a group with a bunch of different advocates that have different passions. Me, homelessness. I know Frank, when it comes to Palestine, when it comes to immigration, you, Patty, we speak about Black and Brown lives, the youth voices, just trauma, healing,
Accountability,
police accountability, all of that stuff. So I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should just make a video. So when people want to come on, we don't even got to explain this subject. Here the video. You want to jump on? You want to jump on board? Because this is what we are all about. And I just felt the need to have something to put out there. And I was also explaining too how big it is to have a bigger social media presence. So I just wanted to do my part, and I decided to make the video, and hopefully y'all like it. And and like Patty was saying, this is just a small, I think it's a 4-minute video, but it's a small portion of the work that's been done with Reimagine Antioch. And we all and just want to say also, with all these different passions that we have within Reimagine Antioch, we're there for each other. So if I need something or some support when it comes to homelessness or unhoused folks, if we got to do a protest about anti-gun violence or police brutality or whatever the situation, immigration, we all show up together to support each other's passions. And I think that's just super important to have that support. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. And it's a Reimagine Antioch it's a group of different people, but like we have stood strong in our unity, and that's what makes us effective is our passion, empathy, understanding, and just having each other's back. And if we can't make it, look, we share it.
Yeah.
And it's word of mouth. We are our own PR. And so, yeah, that's beautiful. And Gavin, did you have some flyers you want to share too? You want to show your flyers real quick before we?
Carlos too can show
We'll show those flyers real quick. Okay,
Thank
there's the
you.
rally for Friday. Okay, Friday. All right, what else we got?
Anything else?
Sorry, that's the only flyer I got. Did somebody send me something else?
I think that's it. Yeah. Oh.
I didn't get nothing.
You didn't? Okay, hold on.
The flyer was good for me, so you could share that, and then if we can post that on the East County Voices later.
Carlos,
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Okay, so do we want to share the video then? We'll do you know how to do it, Gavin? You make sure you in the settings the sound is on. I only saw part of it and I think I almost cried because just the song, the people, our voices, and different.
Put it in the chat right here.
I think
Just scroll back up and it's in here in the chat.
Okay, can you guys see it?
Not yet. You want to hit share file.
You should be sharing my screen.
It's not sharing yet.
Y'all don't see me going in and out.
No, you gotta hit the next one. Like you find it and then you hit like share now. There we go. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if we can hear it. Just turn the volume up. The volume on the right, bottom right. There it is. Okay.
Like even when Tamisha, okay, so we had Tamisha, we had Lamar Thorpe, what's his name, Mr. Harper Wade, Deborah Vincent, Nicole, anybody that was African American that came up here to try to run for this position was attacked. So for you guys to come up here and do this and say, well, you might not say it's racist, but that's what it looks like.
This community has suffered from the hands of the police. And this is not something that's just citywide. The whole world knows about what's going on with Antioch. Okay?
Immigration, we know right now immigration is getting really scary for our community. It'd be great if you all could release a statement on what's going to happen to our immigrant community here in Antioch.
Man, in this society, and today what's going on in the last 2 years, what I saw here in Antioch change, what I saw Donald Trump flags, when I saw Confederate flags in this city at this day and age, you know, your signs, your mayoral signs on the same lines with all of that.
And they bragged about giving him a grade. And then they said 84th percentile for deadly force. You didn't know about any of that. But here we are today. The police are telling on themselves. How about that? Ain't God good?
What a beautiful day that officers are coming through and speaking on what they know. Hopefully more officers speak up on the atrocities that happen in our little city. I'm asking you all to do something about the immigration fear that's happening. There's a lot of immigrants that live here.
They said the United States is watching us, but they said the world is watching us. That Antioch, California have the worst cases.
It's only you five that can do something to help God's people that are living on our streets in the cold and dying. We are sick. We are so sick of watching our friends die on the streets.
Let us march on till victory is won.
It's pretty ironic that we don't have youth on these boards and commission across the board, but yet you constantly use us for political gain and props. And not only that, let's make sure what started this. It was the text message scandal that was calling the mayor a gorilla. Not only that, are African American women water buffaloes?
Words aren't enough anymore. Saying that you're sending your thoughts and prayers on an Instagram story isn't comforting to the families who just lost their 6-year-old daughter.
Had the plumbers in there, veteran services was in there. We had, different organizations who are doing mental health, who are doing healing, connecting people to the county.
Mm-hmm. That was beautiful.
Hearing Tashina sing almost made me cry.
Yeah, her beautiful, beautiful, beautiful voice.
Keep our beautiful songbird in prayer, you guys, please.
Yes. Nicole, that was dope. That
That was
encompasses
awesome. Oh my God, that was so
Yeah.
good.
Hey, your internet was kind of slow in the beginning, bro, because but no, I wanted to I really just wanted to make sure that we kind of covered everything, and we still didn't, because I mean, even at the end you see Tamisha talking about mental health, and we talk about that a lot within our group with Reimagine Antioch, and how important that is, not just for the community but for us as advocates. And I just think that mental health is really important too. So there was a couple of things I kind of wish that I would have touched a little bit more on, but for the most part, I just wanted to let people know what we do, what we stand for, and that we really don't, if I can curse on here, take no shit from this government, okay? We're going to protest, we're going to stand up, we're going to be tall, we're going to be bold.
don't take no
We
shit.
are not afraid. I mean, even there's people that even don't, they're not public speakers or anything like that, and they still, you know, come up and speak and say, like, they just, and sometimes we'll just have something prepared, like you know, we all agree on whatever the issue is, and we'll have something prepared at a city council meeting to where we can just read off of. So it's for any and everyone, you know, if you're a public speaker or if you're not, and you can just stand up and support Reimagine Antioch and what our purpose is and what our goals are for the city that we love, you know, that'd be great. So join us, okay?
All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, for your beautiful, beautiful video. We got to hear Tashina sing again. All the little
the renters' rights folks. The renters' rights folks, okay? That was important.
Yeah.
I'll have to, you know, this we can still add. We can still add to it.
Yeah.
You guys did amazing work with that, with the renters' rights, with the tenant rights, and all the stuff that you guys fought for with ACE. So yeah, definitely that was just amazing too. So yeah, gotta add y'all to the video.
And
no worries.
If you all haven't heard, they're still fighting in Concord, Nicole. I know you were following that. So they're trying to claw back some.
I heard they kicked everybody out.
Yeah, if you haven't followed the Concord City Council meeting last night when they passed their rent control and their other renter protections,
the police showed up.
Last night, the city council voted to take some of those newly found rights away, and the community kind of chanted over the meeting, and they were eventually all kicked out. So
wait, I have a question, because Laura Nakamura is on city council, who I know in Concord. So she was in agreement with that, because that doesn't sound right to me.
What was the vote?
It was 3-2. So I imagine Laura was probably on the 2 side that voted against it. I'm
correct.
Hoping.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I'm like, I know Laura didn't vote.
She's with the people. She's with the people.
You could all follow Concord Community Alliance with our friend Audie Oliveira, and she
as well as Rising Juntos.
As well as Rising Juntos.
Call Pablo. That's what needs to happen.
Well, check out those Facebook pages if you're still on Facebook, Rising Juntos and Concord Community Alliance. They have posted videos and explanation of what happened last night at the Concord City Council.
Stay alert.
Which is some of our same folks that, you know, come to Antioch. They go to Concord, they go to Pittsburgh to help fight for the rights of renters. And so we know many of those folks that are fighting in Concord with Rising Juntos, ACE, and everybody.
Rising Juntos, Fame and eBase, Reverend Millie, Rhea, and the rest of the Juntos. 7.5 years they fought for that.
Wow.
And those landlords are still trying to roll it back. Still,
that's what I was gonna say.
Still raising the rent. I literally have people who live in Concord who said their rent's still getting raised every 6 months, which it shouldn't be. So
even with the new policy, or even with that policy,
yes, and they're trying to take them away. Yeah,
what is wrong with? I don't get it.
I know.
Oh,
I know. It's. I mean, I'm not surprised. I lived
know
out
what,
there a
though?
really long time.
You know what, though? I was reading just really quickly. I know we're going to end, but I was reading, and maybe we can have another conversation on this, but I was reading something about why don't people want renters, rights, and when it comes to hikes with the rent and stuff like that. And then, it kind of made, it kind of seemed as though they did not want the government, especially renters did not, or people or landlords did not want the government determining what the cost or what their cost should be. And I guess that's because of I'm thinking like just the rates. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of see that too, but at the same time, like they need to lower it for everybody because I was just thinking and just kind of off topic, but just when you get your hair done or nails done or whatever, if everybody has it at $70, then you're going to be at $70, right? Because you want to keep up with everything. But if it's lowered for everyone, then it won't be so much competition. So I don't know. I was trying to figure out why people wanted it because I was like, I just don't understand it. It's high. People need to live, right? But yeah, maybe that could be another segment or something that we can speak on later. But yeah, I'm still, I just don't get it. People are struggling. That should be the top priority, not how much money you can make on top of, you just living and surviving comfortably. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. So
yeah, we should have a segment on that, on housing and what's going on. That'd be good.
Yeah, and definitely have somebody on I love these podcasts. I would love to have somebody that is a landlord to kind of educate us maybe about something that we don't know, and we could possibly educate them as well. So having that dialogue is I love these podcasts that we have, but at the same time, I want to hear from the other folks too, because I want to hear why you're doing what you're doing.
Well, the problem is the California Apartment Association, because they're greedy. They're greedy.
Yes.
I'll keep it nice. And they lie to people and make them think that, oh my God, we're going to lose money and we're going to, and it's really not that. It's not that at all. You can still raise the rent. You just can't raise it $600 every 6 months.
Exactly. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's just a cap. You raise it once a year, and this is how much you can raise it. You're still being able to raise the rent. So really there's no problem. There's no loss anywhere. There's just, people are just greedy. And a lot of these places are run by property management, which we already know property management companies are trash. Majority of them.
I agree.
It's just about greed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right.
On that note.
But yeah, with that, we gotta say goodnight because we are
So two things real quick. Dr. Kimberly, I got your flyer. Did you want me to put it up before we get off?
Yeah. You
Okay,
can do that.
Do it.
Man, there it is.
Vote for Kim. Vote for Kim.
Okay.
Vote for Kim. Vote for Gigi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are some, it looks like it's elect new equitable East County NAACP leadership you can trust. I love it. Look, people, it takes heart, it takes spirit to just put your name out there. Put your name in the box to be a leader and make change in any organization in our surrounding communities. Thank you, Dr. Kimberly, for stepping up. It takes a lot of courage to be out there.
Sure does.
Appreciate your support.
So where are we casting our ballots? I'm sorry, I'm new to this process, but is this a separate type of thing? How are we voting for them? Is this going to be on a ballot in 2020?
No. So it'll be on this for all the members who are members of the NAACP East County branch. They'll send a ballot to you electronically via text or email. And I actually just talked to them tonight. They called me to tell me that if anybody doesn't get a ballot, they're also going to be sending a link out to all the members to test to make sure everybody's cell number and text is working. They're going to send it out. If you don't get it, you can reach out to them and they'll send you a ballot in case it doesn't come. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Congratulations
I
ahead of
haven't
time,
seen-
honey.
Right.
You got this.
Yeah.
Right.
I hope so.
Right. Well,
We need
shouldn't be any
change around here.
shenanigans afoot this time. No chicanery. So,
Mm.
Hey, and could I remind folks, if you listened to last week's podcast here, that Chef Archie's event is Saturday night to support the Kiwanis. If you haven't got your tickets yet, please go to Archie's S&Q smoked and barbecued meats and order online to get your tickets. It's $40 for adults. It supports the Kiwanis.
Right.
And you're going to get that excellent Chef Archie food that you never had in your
Man,
life.
his food is bomb. What time?
I'm going to
is
be
it?
there. I'm going to be there. I
What
got
time?
some tickets to go. It starts at 5:00. They're going to have it's going to be like a kind of like a crab feed. So you get an opening to bid on some gifts and like get a drink at the bar and hang out. But I think the dinner starts probably more around 6. And there's going to be garlic herb butter tri-tip, some chicken, his famous beans, his coleslaw, and a couple of desserts. And it's all done in Archie's S&Q style. So if you want to support the local community with as far as the Kiwanis go, and also Chef Archie, who's a local disabled veteran who's turned to cooking to help his community. And on top of all that, it's at the local VFW here in Antioch, which, of course, anytime you buy a drink, a coffee, a water, or even just go hang out, you're supporting the local VFW Hall, the Veterans of Foreign Wars. So, again, that's this Saturday at
This
the
Saturday?
VFW. Yeah, this Saturday.
5 o'clock.
Everything's happening this Saturday.
I know.
Yeah.
This Sunday.
I
was gonna say-
want his food though. My gosh.
Oh my God, his food is
I
awesome.
saw it online. I was like,
Don't miss
ooh.
out. Don't miss out on Chef Archie's food, because unless you follow him and go where he goes, you don't get it very often. I haven't had it in a number of years. Like I said, last time we had him on, he actually catered one of my birthdays. He catered my wife's memorial, RIP Jenny. When she passed, he cooked for everybody, and it's just delicious, unique food. So,
Oh,
This
and
Saturday,
we can't
so
forget.
Frank, this Saturday, 5 o'clock, $40
o'clock.
for adults at the VFW in Antioch. We don't have an address though.
I could look it up, but yeah, the VFW.
I mean,
It's on Shipyard Road.
The
If you look
corner
up,
of Shipyard Road and Wilbur.
Yeah, right on the corner.
And then we
Garden
also have to
Antiochians.
remember there's also Ready Rep. Devin has Ready Rep on Saturday from 3 to 5, 350 Marina Boulevard in Pittsburgh.
Right.
There's a lot going on Saturday.
So there is a lot to do. We got
There's
one
a
more,
lot.
more before both of those events. So from 11 in Pittsburgh, we have the Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta. We got the rally march at 11 a.m.
Thank
at
you.
Pittsburgh City Hall, 65 Civic Avenue. And then at noon is the celebration at Marina Vista, 50 East 8th Street. And then you got the website right there for some more information, showinglove.net, with the local sponsors right there, including Federal Glover. So make sure you guys, so you got a full day, everybody. Look at
Yes.
you can do some marching, right? And then you've got what's that?
Devin's event.
Devin's event, right? But check it out. You got the marching at 11, which will help you to go to the barbecue at 5, and it'd be guilt free. You know what I'm saying? And his food is $40 is a steal. What you're gonna get?
I agree.
Oh my God, $40. I mean, if I wasn't allergic, I mean, I still
You have to
might-
buy tickets ahead of time for it.
Yeah, you should order on Archie's website. It's Archie's S&Q smoked and barbecued meats, or you can go to East County Voices where we have shared the information. And yeah, it's going to be kind of and don't forget, you're not just paying $40 for the food. You're actually, this is a donation to the Kiwanis Club and the local VFW.
So you're
Right
helping
on.
support. But if you miss the event and one of your friends go, they're gonna tell you how good that food was, and you're gonna be like, I should have went. So just
I'm
go.
going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
I'm gonna go too. I'm gonna go too because
You're
I
gonna be
want.
like,
I want
"Ah,
to
dang."
try it. It looks delicious.
Why?
And he does a lot for like the homeless community too, from what
He
I
does.
read
He
online.
does.
So I
And
definitely
you-
want to go
He
support.
does. He helps with the homeless and the high school there too, and
Yeah,
the
the youth.
the children too. He gives away hot dogs.
Yeah,
You
once
know?
a month
Yeah,
he
that's
does.
right.
Once a month at Lee's Snack Bar, he gives away
Right.
free
I
hot
need something
dogs,
to eat.
chips, and a soda to the kids,
Yeah.
and then anyone in the unhoused community. If you come by and you want to get some for yourself, he might ask you for a couple bucks, and that's all going back to just cover the cost of the food.
Yeah.
But any kid that walks
It
by
does.
could just pick up a hot dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's good. Oh yeah, and don't forget that Gavin needs to be revoted in as the youth NAACP.
Yes.
Already? I thought that is coming up. Okay.
I didn't forget, Gavin. You thought I forgot, didn't you?
Vote for
No.
Gavin.
Thank
Vote
you.
for Dr. Kim.
I love
A
it.
lot of voting, y'all. A lot of voting. A lot of
And that's
marching.
the same process
lot of
as you
eating.
were. That's the same process you were talking about, Dr. Kim, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have the candidates for both, and maybe we'll have a candidate forum.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe
us
Reimagine
posted.
Antioch can hold the
Q&A, little
forum.
Q&A. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay.
like something going for the NAACP because they represent us. And I think it's about time that, we start holding them accountable
Yep.
because
I
we hold
agree.
our elected officials accountable, right? We need to
Mhm.
hold the NAACP accountable.
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be great because they have a lot of forums. Like, can we forum y'all? I'm serious because I think we should bring this to Tiki. I think that'd be great.
Mhm.
I'm
Good
available.
idea.
Let me know.
And then also, you guys pray for my family. I lost another cousin. So my cousin Mario's funeral is also Saturday. Saturday is an action-packed day for sure. So my cousin Teresa lost her only child, and she's also battling cancer. So please pray for my family. And we just lost my cousin Ing, which is her sister, to cancer. So yeah, it's been really rough for my family this year. So, and for Portia, she just lost another family member also. So yeah, it's a lot of prayers needed, a lot of grieving families right now. So, and of course, we always want to keep Tashina in prayer because we want her to come back as much as she possibly can to herself. I mean,
Yes.
her to get all the proper care that she's supposed to receive so she can continue to do better.
Right.
Yes. Amen. Amen to that.
And
We
with
all
that, we'll have
prayers.
yeah,
Thank you.
amen. Amen. And with that, we'll have Miss Nicole Cares take us out.
Oh yeah, and we also don't want to forget Mike Lopez's mom, it's been a horrible fight. He's been fighting
Yeah.
for his mom's life. So please keep him and his mom in prayer because once
Yes.
again, a certain hospital is just not doing what they should do for her. So we want to keep them in prayer. We will be doing a Hippocratic note to expose the healthcare system. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being on. It's always great to see all your beautiful faces. Thank you for all the awesome information. There's so much going on this
Yeah.
weekend. So there's lots to do.
It starts Friday with the protests at the Sheriff's
Like and
Department.
subscribe, please, to our page, East County Voices YouTube channel. Follow on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you so much. And Mr. Carlos, what you gonna say, Taco Man?
I'm gonna say thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. You guys have an awesome night. Thank you all for your time. I mean, time is precious, and I appreciate each and every one of you giving us your time and coming on the show. I really do appreciate that from the heart. So I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Really do appreciate
Thank you to you, Carlos. Back at you.
Thank you.
Amen. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody.
Love y'all.
See y'all next week. Love y'all.
Bye.